you can describe commitment as lopping branches off a tree. In one moment, you might have two options, jump or duck. This describes a tree of decisions. Here you are standing. If you jump, that's one branch, and if you duck, that's another branch. Some options are commitments. When you make a commitment, you choose one option among multiple. This reduces your future options for a period of time. The weight of a commitment is inversely proportional to the number of subsequent options available to you. A heavy commitment offers fewer options, while a light commitment offers more options. Here, one choice leads to two subsequent options, and the other choice leads to four subsequent options. So, the first choice is heavier than the second. In real-time games, we can map options to a tree on a frame-by-frame basis. Realistically, you won't make choices with frame-perfect precision, but the game will still read your inputs on each frame. However, certain inputs, in certain contexts, won't affect the game's state. For instance, when Simon walks in Castlevania, you can always press left or right to change how he walks. But when he jumps, pressing left and right won't do anything. Simon might hit an enemy or land on a platform, but there's no input you can perform that will change how he jumps. So, when I say option, I refer to inputs that change the game's state. Here's a diagram I drew up to consider the jump in Castlevania. Just for the sake of simplicity, I've only allowed the player one input per frame. So, they can't press right and the A button at the same time. Also, I've excluded attacking and crouching, and I'm assuming he's on flat ground with no enemies to harass him. Each state has 5 points of data: whether he stands or jumps, Simon Belmont's facing direction, his horizontal position, the time, measured in frames, and, if he jumps, how far into the jump arc he is. If two states share all of these data, then they're identical, and I've combined them. For every frame where Simon's on the ground, there are 4 options available to you. Walk left, walk right, stand still, or jump. So, for every frame he walks, or stands still, there are 4 possible options. But when he jumps, the player commits to the full path of red nodes and arrows. For 43 frames after Simon jumps, there is just one branch. Continue the jump trajectory. You can see that jumping states, which are the branches with red nodes, have only one option. Granted, in real gameplay, Simon would be able to attack during a jump. In this way, the weight of a commitment for a jump is a function of the duration of Simon's jump, or 43 frames. If Simon jumps, it'll be 43 frames before the player has more than one option. Compare this to walking, where each individual frame offers 4 options. To fully appreciate the impact of time on the weight of a commitment, I think it's helpful to review the commitment diagram in detail. So, compare jumping on the second frame to walking left. If Simon walks left, then on the third frame there are 4 potential options, leading to 4 potential states. And on the fourth frame, those states each have 4 potential options, leading to a total of 10 potential unique states. If Simon jumps on the second frame, then on the third frame, there's only one possible option, leading to one possible state. And on the fourth frame, there's again only one possible option, leading to one possible state. The commitment weight of jumping is much heavier than the commitment weight of walking left. Not all commitments are all or nothing. Take the jump in Super Mario Bros. And compare it to the jump in Super Mario World. The jump in Super Mario Bros. Is a heavier commitment because it is less flexible than the one in Super Mario World. In Super Mario World, the greater air control means you have access to a greater range of options throughout a jump. When you look at the decision tree for Simon's jump, it describes a series of data and actions. In other words, I was talking about the state machine of the game. Each node on the tree is a game state. Granted, I have greatly simplified the game state so that I can show it. By making a decision, you traverse the tree of game states, and the weight of a commitment can be measured in potential game states.